So the left just got another huge win. Ilhan Omar won her primary, and let's be honest, she dominated. I mean, she won by over 17 points. I know that they're still counting some of the mail-in voting, but it's going to stay roughly right around there. And so that's a huge win. And I know that Cori Bush's win is probably the biggest of this primary season, just because hers like really means a lot because she beat like a dynasty, a political dynasty. But Ilhan Omar's win definitely makes me smile the most because this is someone that has been so viciously smeared since the day that she's entered Congress, and just some of the most grotesque things have been said about her. And to see her have such like a crushing victory is very, very satisfying. So I wanted to take a second, look at all these headlines that just got it so wrong. So we'll start off with this one. Omar faces tough challenge in Minnesota. Then we got Ilhan Omar's challenger raised 3.2 million this past quarter, 7 times more than she did. Because all they know how to calculate is how much someone raises. Ilhan Omar's primary race heats up as Dem challenger claims her campaign is falling apart. Well, I guess it did all right. Is Ilhan Omar one and done? Why she could lose the August primary? Ooh, rough. Ilhan Omar vastly outraised by primary rival ahead of August election. And then finally, Ilhan Omar could be voted out after just one term as main primary challenger, rakes in millions in fundraising. And so you can see a very, very clear theme from all those different headlines. And that's that these people feel like fundraising means support. That's not what it means. It means that corporations support you, that billionaires support you. I know that her opponent got a ton of money from pro-Israeli lobbies. That was also the same for Rashida Tlaib. And so, like, I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, we have had some pretty big wins this primary season. I mean, Marie Newman, Jamal Bowman, obviously Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, everyone in the squad won their re-elections. Cori Bush. I mean, these are some big wins. I know that Ed Markey, he is in the Senate, but his election's coming up pretty soon. It's looking good for him. And I think that what we've seen in these House elections, though, is that the left can win anywhere. And we've got Pramila Jayapal winning in Washington. We got AOC winning in New York. We got Ilhan Omar winning in Minnesota. Tlaib in Michigan. I mean, we hit all across the country. Um, Cori Bush in St. Louis. I mean, this is all over the country. The left can win everywhere. And we've seen these establishment Dems being taken out left and right. I mean, Joe Crowley, Clay in St. Louis. I mean, this is support. There is a movement that is coming and it's growing. You know, a lot of people thought that like, oh, these four, when they're talking about the squad coming in, I know that Ayanna Presley kind of gets like not included in the squad nowadays, but you know, she was definitely a part of it in the beginning. And a lot of people said, oh, they're coming in, but they're immediately going to be voted out because people just don't like this like radicalism, which just doesn't make sense. Like, why are these people voting for people that like they don't agree with? And it's just such a strong vindication because ever since AOC and Ilhan Omar have been elected, people are like, oh, they're going to lose. They're too crazy. They're too far left. They're not going to be able to stay in. And that's absurd. And there was never anything to look at other than the amount of money that was being donated to their opponents as to why they might lose. That was really the only thing. Polling, I know in AOC's race with polling, AOC was up in the polls like always. I mean, there aren't a lot of polls done for these smaller races, but all the ones that were done showed AOC up. The only point of contention that anyone had is that her opponent raised a ton of money. And that's it, because that's all that these people could hang their hats on and just hope that money could like drive these people out. But I mean, Ilhan Omar, she put a tweet out after she won, and that when people organize, that always beats organized money. I'm paraphrasing. I don't think that was her exact quote, but just the idea was that when the people, when they work together, when they band together, that defeats the organization of money, because there's more people obviously than there are billionaires. I mean, I'm sure that there's some class analysis that could be taken away from that, but just largely we have seen that the era of these establishment corporate Democrats is ending. It's not over yet. I mean, we can see the top of the presidential ticket. We got Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I saw interesting tweet the other day. It was just Kamala Harris. It was an article. It was Kamala Harris had the most billionaire donors at one point in the primary, and then it was an article right next to it that had Joe Biden overtook her as the most billionaire donors. So that's who's leading the ticket right now, and it's not great. And I recently found out that AOC will be speaking at the DNC, but she will only be speaking for 60 seconds, which is, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that one of the most popular members of Congress will only get 60 seconds. And I mean, there's a reason for that. And Bernie Sanders, he'll be speaking, but like, I mean, that's literally just because he holds so much weight. I mean, he literally has delegates. This is big though. I mean, and it's just so. I never doubted that Ilhan Omar would win. I never doubted that Rashida Tlaib would win, or AOC. But there's just so many people saying, "Oh, they're in danger. They're in danger. They're in danger. Their opponents are raising a lot of money." And that's absurd because money isn't votes. It just isn't, and money isn't support. And for a long time, That kind of is what it was. That was the metric that people looked at. Who was raising more money? But Ilhan Omar, that's not how she does it. She didn't raise as much money because she doesn't take corporate dollars. She doesn't take billionaire funding. That's why she's not going to raise as much. And does that mean? And that's the thing with these Justice Democrat candidates, with these candidates that aren't taking corporate PAC money, aren't taking super PACs. They're going to constantly be at a fundraising disadvantage. One, because there's going to be a lot of outside money coming in to get them like to help them lose their seat. But also just because they don't have as many sources of fundraising. They're just the people. That's the only place that they can get their funding from. And so they're always going to be at a fundraising disadvantage. But I mean, we're seeing time and time again that that's okay. That's an obstacle that can be overcome, and it's really really good thing to see because I mean the majority of Americans support the policies that Ilhan Omar is behind. For all the people that call her radical, they support Medicare for all. They support getting money out of politics. They support ending the disastrous wars that we're involved in. And so Ilhan Omar is not the radical. Don't let anyone say that. AOC is not the radical. So yeah, happy day, another big win. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you disagreed with anything I said or if I got anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. But other than that, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe and have a great